Chat, long ago, and by that I mean the summer of 2020, I got canceled. I got canceled for saying something admittedly a little bit cringy, at least in my wording. That certainly was the case. Though, ironically enough, the sentiment of that statement actually ended up becoming quite true in hindsight, almost supporting the Xander Hall profit arc that people have been memeing about for so long now in my community. And that is, back in the summer of 2020, I made a statement about how I wanted to, and I quote, infiltrate the drama community. Now, what I meant by that was not infiltrate the drama community as in, like, get in there
because
and, like...
it is going to drive me insane if that number stays at 90 when 100 is just a small skip away.
I know that feeling.
I saw some of your content back in the Pig Puncher days. Glad to see you're still making content. Sorry your sex cult got shut down. XP.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And thank you for getting us up to 100. Thanks for the $10. By the way, if you want to donate and have the robot lady read your donation like that, you can do it from the donate button, which should be like right here. You click that button, and then whatever message you type out, the robot lady reads it. It's pretty dope. My wording was a little bit bad. I did not mean that I wanted to infiltrate the drama community as in like sort of clout shark and get like become friends with all the drama YouTubers to get like views and stuff like that. That kind of seemed like how it came off when I said that. Wasn't actually the sentiment behind it. I actually ended up having, of all people, Optimus, a fairly large commentary drama YouTuber. I guess you could say there's kind of a crossover there. You could say either or. Make a video talking about this clip of me, which is kind of weird. Last person I'd expect to respond to a clip of me saying that of all things, but okay. Though, ironically enough, 2 years later, hell if it didn't work, the infiltration of the drama community has been successful. AugieRFC's new video, uploaded today, The Vosh Problem, nonstop drama. We're going to watch this in a minute. WillyMacShow, 3 days ago. Hassan is unironically stupid and should quit politics. The quartering will never change. Content audit. The quartering anti-SJW. SJW. Dunking on. You noticing a pattern here? You noticing a pattern? We did it, boys. We got them in. When I said I was going to infiltrate the drama community, I didn't mean that I was going to infiltrate the drama community. That was not good wording. That was poor wording. What I should have said was, I'm going to drag the drama community into the politics community. And here we are. Here we are. All the drama boys got to talk about all the crazy shit the political motherfuckers on here are up to. It's great. It's so great. Like, listen, this is not a negative video towards any of these drama YouTubers. These guys, I like these guys. Like, look, I'm subbed, you know? See, it's fucking, oh, I don't have the bell icon rung for Augie. I feel bad. Say, look, we good, you know, you see? But like, I will say it's pretty funny that it kind of worked. And so I'm curious to see if this does get political, exactly how political it'll get, you know? So let's watch.
You could say that you are epistemically neutral as to whether that person is there or not. Like Schrodinger's cat bullshit, right?
You can say that you're epistemically neutral. Like, where the f are they finding these words?
The world of political streaming on YouTube and Twitch never ceases to disappoint with the entertainment it brings. You know, a lot of people say stuff like, I don't like politics. Politics is gay and boring. It's like, yeah, we get it, dude. You're so original. You have such a complex brain, dude. Really? You think politics is too complicated and too boring? Wow, dude. You're just so enlightened. Holy shit, dude.
Well, no, Augie was not the animated avatar. That was somebody else. This is Augie.
Dude, you're so above it all, man. You're against politics? Whew. Somebody give this guy a medal. He is clearly on just a whole other playing field, okay? Fuck you, okay? Politics is fun, all right? And I'm gonna explain why. It doesn't have anything to do with actual politics. It doesn't have anything to do with, you know, complex discussions about political theory and policy. Now, fuck that shit, dude. It's about...
He's spitting.
...the drama, okay? Only in the world of political entertainment and streaming do you get the author of Harry Potter, J.K. Rowling herself, fighting against Vosh I mean, there's two levels of surprise here. First of all, J.K. Rowling is targeting Vosh. What the fuck? Like, what timeline are we in? But also, Vosh is shitting on women. Wait, what? Hold on, slow down here. All right.
Yes.
So this whole controversy starts. I'm gonna do this like a Twitter versus Blacks video. I'm gonna be like, okay, guys. So the first tweet we have here is from Vosh. Vosh says, no, I'm not gonna do that fucking voice. Fuck that shit. So Vosh tweeted, and he said, all J.K. Rowling had to do was shut the fuck up, and she could have been almost uncritically beloved for like a century. Women be quieter and start apologizing challenge. Now, first of all, Vosh engaging in some good old misogyny brings joy to my eyes because it proves that everybody, every man at the end of the day, even women, but especially men, enjoy misogyny, all right? Everybody wants to do.
Misogynistic humor is objectively funny. I'm sorry. There's a few things in this world that I consider to be objectively funny, but misogynistic humor is most certainly one of them, as long as it is actually ironic. And as long as you engage in it responsibly. You have to be careful. You have to be careful. You don't want to make people feel as though it's not a joke anymore. I have noticed, and I'm not going to call anyone out in particular, but I have noticed that even in progressive spaces, progressive people that I know can make some, like, can go a little bit too far when it comes to the kind of poking fun at, like, being a woman or poking fun at being part of a certain race. Like, it's not, like, super overt, but it's just, like, constant tiny things, and I'll notice it being done to other people. Never happens to me. I'm a cis straight white guy. But, like, when I see it happen to other people, I'll be like, do they want me to, like, stop this person and say, hey, stop making that cringy joke? Like, do they want me to, or am I just going to start a scene? You get into situations like that sometimes, even in lefty spaces. Sometimes people take it too far and just make it feel uncomfortable. You have to know the right time and place to do it. And you have to be ready to say, my bad joke, wasn't funny, I'll stop, sorry, if people don't respond to it right. Like, that's really what, like, a lot of conservatives, I feel like, just need to learn how to do when it comes to their humor. Like, sometimes if like, they make a joke and a bunch of people get offended at it, to just be like, it's a bad one, sorry, it was kind of flopping that one. Like, they feel like they have to, like, die on the hill of defending their humor if people, like, thought it wasn't funny or offensive or whatever. It's like, kind of pathetic to get mad that people thought your joke was offensive.
Everybody wants to act like they're above it, just like with politics. Nah, dude. At the end of the day, everybody loves to bully, everybody loves to be mean, and this is just proof of that. That Vosh, somebody that considers themselves a feminist, would get tired of women's shit. We've all been there, buddy. Now you might be wondering, why the fuck...
Okay, in all seriousness, though, like, the tweet is a reference to the women be louder, stop apologizing meme. Basically, there's a feminist slogan. I believe it's like a second wave feminist slogan. And it goes literally exactly, I believe it goes, yeah, be louder, stop apologizing. And he said, women be quieter and apologize more. It's pretty obviously a joke.
Fuck does Vosh have an issue with J.K. Rowling? J.K. Rowling is well known for being just, a liberal, a feminist, somebody that has politics that, on first glance, you would think Vosh more aligns with, right? I mean, for fuck's sake, this is the same woman that's changing her characters to be gay just for, social credit points, I guess. I don't know. I mean, it seems like Vosh and J.K. Rowling at first glance would tend to get along more. However, the reason why Vosh doesn't like J.K. Rowling is because J.K. Rowling is supposedly transphobic, all right? Now, I don't like to use words like that, so I don't, I'm not going to say for a fact, but basically, J.K. Rowling has gone on against trans people before. If sex isn't real, there's no same-sex attraction. If sex isn't real, the lived reality of women globally is erased. I know and love trans people, but erasing the concept of sex removes the ability of many to meaningfully discuss their lives. It isn't hate to speak the truth. J.K. Rowling then goes on to say, I respect every trans person's right to live any way that feels...
Okay. If you ever have to say, it's not hate to speak the truth, I'm just speaking the truth, it's not hate, then in 5 years or less, people are going to look back and be like, oh wow, can't believe we thought that person wasn't a massive bigot, huh? That's literally, I'm just speaking the truth, I'm just asking questions, I'm just seeking answers, I'm just valuing logic and the truth. was literally the catchphrase of like Richard Spencer and Milo Yiannopoulos and all the other like alt-right types back when they had credibility. And like there was a time where like if you called Richard Spencer a Nazi in a YouTube comment section, you would be ripped apart. You would be eaten alive for calling Richard Spencer a Nazi in a YouTube comment section. That was what 2016 was. It's the same type of messaging, though.
Authentic and comfortable to them. I'd march with you if you were discriminated against on the basis of being trans. But at the same time, my life has been shaped by being female. I do not believe it's hateful to say so. J.K. Rowling is what many describe as a TERF, which is a term online that stands for trans exclusionary radical feminist. Basically, a TERF is somebody that is a feminist and typically more liberal leaning and progressive and a social justice warrior type, but they don't agree with transgenderism as a concept. They think that there's a difference between the two sexes and gender and sex are the same thing and stuff like that. Basically, they're everything except for the trans stuff. They don't agree with it, which obviously Vosh disagrees with J.K. Rowling on. So after completely shitting all over women, J.K. Rowling sees the prime, the perfect opportunity to...
Oh, no. Wait, chat. Listen, okay? Only real men have absolutely no fucking case in their phone at all times, okay? You gotta be a real Sigma motherfucker to have no case on your phone, all right? He's got a case on his phone. I got no case on my phone. I'm dangerous, okay? I'm dangerous. My hands are sweaty right now. My phone could go flying. This is the Sigma grind, okay? And my phone's never cracked. Not a single crack on the screen. Not a goddamn one.
Strike where the iron's hot. J.K. Rowling writes, "What you and your ilk fail to appreciate is how tediously familiar I find your tactics. I had a violent ex-husband who used to tell me life would be great if only I'd comply, but you're making the same mistake he did. Women like me can't be bullied out of resistance." If you have no idea what she's talking about, basically, it's a common idea for people who are TERFs to say that people who are very pro-trans are doing it to replace women. They want to replace women with trans people, which of course TERFs don't, think are women, right? They don't want people that they deem not women to replace them or to be seen as people of higher importance to
Woman
them.
replacement.
So J.K. Rowling's whole narrative here is that Vosh is going after women by being pro-trans, right? And to be fair to J.K. Rowling, she picked the perfect tweet to make this point, right? Because what is Vosh doing here? He's being misogynistic. He's shitting on women. So J.K. Rowling is trying to sell this narrative. I mean, she picks the perfect...
I'm so proud of my boy. I'm so proud of my boy, Augie. All right? Not that I agree with him 100% on what he's saying here, but like, do you guys remember the first debate that I ever had with Augie, Boblax, Nick, WillyMacShow, that whole group? Do you remember the first conversations I had with them? The first conversations I had with them were literally me debating them on why they should give a shit about politics or why they should care that, like, there are certain people in their community who think a certain way or have certain ideas. And, like, since then, especially recently, at the very least, I've seen them become more engaged and interested in politics. He's demonstrating a clear, like, education on politics here. Like, he at least knows, like, what TERFs are. He understands, like, the context of this situation fairly well. This is a clearly pretty huge step up from whenever I first talked to him, and he was like, I don't give a shit about politics, man. I just want to talk about drama. Pretty, I would say, personally, in my opinion, this is positive character development, okay? On all sides. I'm really glad they're getting into the politics community, though, because that was a huge part of my motivation back when I made that, like, cringy statement about infiltrating the drama community. A big part of it was, like, the spiciest drama, as he said before, the spiciest drama on the fucking internet is happening in the political sphere. The drama YouTubers need to get in on this shit, you know? I've been saying it for a while. It's worth talking about this kind of stuff. Seems like it worked.
opportunity to do so. This is where Vosh failed, right? Because Vosh is making a fucking misogynistic joke, which obviously I don't care if he's making a misogynistic joke, right? But the point is he's making a joke shitting on women, right? J.K. Rowling's whole argument is that people who are vehemently pro-trans shit on women, so she's providing the proof there to justify her worldview. I mean, if you think about it, a lot of people are saying, holy shit, I can't believe J.K. Rowling went after Vosh. This is insane. This is such a huge story. But I mean, if you really look at it, it makes sense why she did it. She saw a prime opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, but it's dishonest. This is clip chimping. So this could be a couple of things, right? So this could be J.K. Rowling just seeing this tweet and immediately assuming this is completely serious and that he's legitimately saying women need to be quieter and start apologizing. This is clearly not a sentiment that Vosh actually believes. So it's possible that J.K. Rowling misinterpreted the sarcasm, which I'm sorry, guys. I read every single Vosh tweet in a sarcastic voice, okay? Every single Vosh tweet I read in a sarcastic voice. I've never read a single one of them sounding serious. By the time I reach the tweet, if it doesn't sound like it makes sense being sarcastic, then I'll reread it seriously. And that generally helps a lot. Yeah, it's ironic that the writer is kind of illiterate when it comes to reading. But anyway, with that said, it's also possible, perhaps even likely, more likely than the previous option, that J.K. Rowling knows that was a joke, and she knows who Vosh is because Vosh is a prominent online figure who has criticized her numerous times on positions that she holds that are clearly quite controversial and close to her heart. She knows who he is. She found a couple of tweets she thought she could clip and effectively use to make an argument in her favor, and did so, and then tried to twist what was clearly a sarcastic joke to her audience that clearly isn't going to be aware of who this guy is, as being an unironic statement from a pro-trans advocate saying that women need to shut up and start apologizing more. That is what I think happened, because that is what literally any dumb fuck YouTuber who wanted to get a leg up on another YouTuber would do. That is the classic YouTuber going after another YouTuber, quote tweeting extravaganza strategy.
Opportunity to make her case, to make her point by showing Vosh being misogynistic. This is why the world of politics is so fun, right? Because when you realize why these people hold their ideologies and why these people believe in the things that they do, it makes what they do 10 times funnier, right? So how does Vosh respond to this devastating blow? Now all of Harry Potter Twitter and book Twitter and, 14 million people that follow J.K. Rowling, now they all think that he's a misogynistic piece of shit asshole who hates women. What is he gonna do? Vosh writes, listen, Joanne, you don't get to play the victim card when you're the advocate for taking away women's rights here. Trans women are raped and killed in men's facilities, and you want to keep them there because of your trauma? Quit making your feelings other people's oppression.
True.
Ooh, dude, now it gets fucking spicy, right? Because obviously Vosh is making strong appeals to emotion here, talking about, trans women getting abused and turning it.
No, it's actually pointing at hypocrisy. Not an appeal to emotion. Close. It is a argument thing. Not quite an appeal to emotion, though. I guess you could say there is a level of appeal to emotion in there. The fact that, you are meant to feel bad that's happening. But more so, I think the main point, at least for me, because I'm a debate bro and I'm a sociopath, the main thing that stands out to me is the call out of the hypocrisy. J.K. Rowling is making a huge deal about how cis women may be predated on by trans women who could be predators. And yet at the same time, the data shows that trans women are way more likely to be victims of violent assault, especially in men's prisons. This is a thing that J.K. Rowling has specifically said she does not like. She does not like the idea of trans women being in women's prisons. She has specifically said this many times. Not only that, but she's retweeted many people who have said the exact same thing, saying the exact same thing. She's retweeted them and sent support of that and platformed that messaging. She believes that. Vosh is calling out the fact that The data does not align there. She is playing victim in a case where she is using her platform to advocate for the rights of an entire demographic that is statistically more likely to be the victim of violence than the demographic J.K. Rowling is accusing of actually being more likely to be a victim of violence in this situation. He is calling out the fact that she's not only wrong, but that she is hypocritical and that she's kind of being a cunt. And that she doesn't get to play the victim card here. Especially because, and I want to make this clear here, okay? Misogyny, and I mean misogyny, period, is never okay. To be clear, misogyny isn't okay. Misogynistic jokes, as long as they're done well, I guess. I mean, can't predict how they'll go over, but, you know, it is what it is. I remember Davis Serini. Didn't his career end when H-Bomber guy dunked on him like crazy or something? I haven't heard about that guy since the H-Bomber guy video. Like, that guy really got fucking destroyed by that. Anyway, but Xander Hall, you think people on Twitter are going to dig that deep? I don't think it's necessary to dig that deep. Literally, all you have to do is read the tweet and be aware of J.K. Rowling's position. Which, if you follow J.K. Rowling on Twitter, at least some amount of the 40 million people that follow J.K. Rowling on Twitter or whatever have to know that, you know, she doesn't think that trans women should be in women's prisons. Like, I don't know.
You know, twisting the knife back against J.K. Rowling, saying, actually, you're the less morally righteous person here, not me, which, I mean, makes sense, right? And to be fair, he has somewhat of a point, right? Because J.K. Rowling's bringing her ex-husband who, you know, was, quote, you know, violent and abusive, you know, comparing Vosh to him, which is pretty, you know, that's pretty fucking spicy right there, right?
It is indeed.
You know, obviously, it's just a battle of, it's the oppression Olympics, right? I don't like to use these terms, but, you know, it really is the case of, like, both of these people are arguing, you know, it's the battle of the minorities, basically. Not saying that Vosh is a minority, but I'm saying, you know, it's women versus trans people, right? Who wins? Who's gonna win in the intellectual battle place over here, right?
To be clear, though, it is J.K. Rowling and the TERFs, though, that are initiating this this game, this war of identity politics. To make it completely clear who's initiating this. The trans people, for the most part, really just want to be acknowledged as the identity that they identify with and just to have their rights and stuff. It's people like J.K. Rowling who are acting as an antagonizing force on the trans movement. They are the pushback. Like the trans community doing what the trans community is doing is just the simple, natural progression of society. J.K. Rowling is acting as that antagonistic force, that pullback on society's progression, that chain that is trying to keep the beast of society's progression from crawling forward another inch. That is what she is doing. And if you are going to do something like that, the onus is on you as the one arguing that we ought to change the direction society is going, which is a direction that is more positive towards trans people. You have to make the arguments in favor of that. I can make the arguments in favor of society continuing to move more in a pro-trans direction. J.K. Rowling and her ilk are incapable of such. They won't do it. Once your name gets out there enough as you being like a competent enough debater, they'll refuse. Like, I don't even have that good of a reputation as a debater, but I've debated enough transphobes and TERFs well enough that, like, I don't really get challenged by TERFs or transphobes anymore, and they run away all the time now. Like, TERFs and most transphobes, some on the right still do it, but TERFs for the most part, back in the day they would, but now they won't do it. They run away. They immediately block me, or they won't engage. They won't debate me. They certainly won't debate anybody who has a better debate reputation than me. But even me, they won't debate. And I certainly don't have the best reputation in the scene. Could be better.
It's fucking great. But it gets even better, right? Because after J.K. Rowling makes this tweet, she retweets somebody saying, trans people aren't a monolith, and plenty of us do not define our rights by forcing others to validate fiction like gender identity. My rights are not women's rights. I do not want my rights to erode theirs. But this is where it gets interesting, right? Shouldn't you be busy advocating the decriminalization of child porn? Holy shit. J.K. Rowling just retweeted somebody basically calling Vosh a fucking pedo. This is the timeline that we're in. This is March March 9th, 2022. This is the timeline that we're at right now. And obviously, blue checkmark journalists wasted absolutely no time to pull up all the clips, all the terrible clips that we've seen of Vosh, I mean, some of them are clip shamed, obviously, defending child porn, basically.
Should consuming child porn be legal? I think that would be, yes, more legal and more ethically consistent. Yes, 100%.
Now, look, I've already made a video going over probably the most damning Vosh, defending CP clip. And to be fair to Vosh, he does get clips out of context quite a lot, all right? I'm not the craziest fan of Vosh, obviously. I mean, you guys know my politics, okay? I mean, I shouldn't have to say that, right? That being said, I'll always defend somebody who I feel is getting clipped out of context. There's some pretty fucking bad clips of Vosh, but a lot of the clips that people use are way more explainable and very obviously cut out of context than other clips, right? I would say the worst clip of Vosh would be this one, for instance.
Still don't care. I still think that, zoophile porn, drawn stuff, it should be 100% legal. In fact, and this is going to be a real hot take, I have yet...
That's probably true. Like lolly porn and, the drawn shit probably shouldn't be, illegal. It probably shouldn't be illegal to draw certain shit. That seems like it could be a little bit of an infringement on our rights, as Americans. You don't want to cut down on art. Then again, maybe it would be fine. It probably would be fine, though, because if we did cut down and, make that illegal, the way that our current laws function seem to be fine enough. For example, nobody, at least as far as I'm aware, nobody's ever been arrested falsely on, possession of child porn because they had a picture of, their daughter in the bathtub, framed on the wall, The police and our government, when they look at something like that, tend to use, discretion and look on a case-by-case basis. So maybe, it would actually be fine to, clamp down on art and artistic depictions of already illegal content. There is a concern that I think people can bring up, but you guys know my opinion on furry shit and zoophile shit and lolly shit. You guys know how I feel about the pedophiles on Twitter. You guys have seen my crusades I've gone on against the lolly people. You guys have seen the debates I've done and the fucking wars that I have waged on Twitter. Guys, good news! I forgot to tell you guys! Twitter finally did it! Twitter finally added it! Twitter finally added well, it's not one click, it's a couple of clicks. A multi-click report child sexual abuse material button on Twitter. When you go to the report feature now, if you go to report harmful content, one of the options is CSAM and other related material. You don't have to go on Google and search out a specific document to report the crazy lolly accounts on Twitter anymore. For those of you guys that don't know, when I had my big war against the lolicons on Twitter back in the day, whenever I would want to report these people on Twitter, the only way to do so, at least I'm pretty sure, I looked pretty hard through the report functions on these accounts. The only way to do so was to find an individual reporting document that existed on Twitter's website that you had to Google. And when you'd Google this document, you'd get an FBI warning at the top of the search results. You'd be searching how to report CP or child porn or whatever on Twitter, and that would be what you're searching, and then you get an FBI warning at the top of your results, warning, don't search for whatever. And I, obviously the first thing that comes up is the Twitter thing, and that's what I click. And you have to type out the name, you have to type out the person's @ you have to type out and copy paste links to each of the offending tweets. So you have to look at each of the offending tweets. And on top of that, you have to explain in a little box, a small short explanation. It was ridiculous. It was a barrier of access to reporting these accounts that was unrealistic as fuck. And I think that's what really caused Twitter to have such a massive pedophile problem. Though I went to report a spam, troll, scam account the other day on Twitter. And one of the options that came up under harmful content, along with spam content, it was one of those mobile games that when you actually download the game, I hate these fucking ads. It's a mobile game ad that the ad looks interesting, but the actual game is nothing like it. I report those to Twitter as spam and misleading every time just because they piss me off so much. And I noticed that they added that as an option. So that's pretty cool. Anyway, I was actually in the chat watching live when Vosh did this Dead Cells stream and this clip happened. And he definitely should not have worded this take in the way that he did. I know the actual argument he was making, and I know it because when I thought it, I was like, oh, I've heard Destiny make this argument. The problem is that Vosh made it in a much worse way than Destiny did, and it was just ridiculously easy to clip chimp. Admittedly, I don't think he expected that in like what was it? Like, I feel like it was a 30 or 40 viewer gaming stream he did back when his channel had like 30,000 views, like subs. I don't think he ever expected a poorly worded take like that to ever like be an issue, but now you know. You got to be careful how you word things. Your wording of things can be quite damning.
To hear a convincing moral or legal argument as to why possession of child pornography should be illegal. Actual child pornography. How's that?
But if you're interested in me going over probably...
Play the whole clip. I wish people played the whole clip more, because while the whole clip doesn't look great still, it does add some important context that makes it clear what the actual argument is. Basically, what he argues in that clip, just to sort of like help a brother out, you know, basically what he's saying in that clip is that very few people... You guys remember the incest debate that Destiny had with No Bullshit? Basically, the idea of that was to demonstrate how many people have the correct position on an issue. For example, that child porn is bad or that incest is wrong. But if you really grilled them on it, they couldn't actually explain why it's wrong. Really, it's just the fact that society has taught them that's wrong is why they believe that, which is worrying. When there are certain things that are bad that people believe are wrong, you want them to be able to understand why they're wrong, because if they don't understand it, then they can be easily convinced that it's not wrong, and that's a problem. You don't want that to happen. So in the case of this, a lot of people have the opinion that child pornography and its possession is bad, which is the correct opinion, and yet they aren't really able to explain it on a philosophical level. Vosh has had this take multiple times and said this take, and every time he gets canceled. I guess it's just his wording every time is bad, but I guess I'll magically word it in a way that doesn't get me canceled, because I've literally reworded his take before and never once gotten canceled for it. I guess because I worded it a little better, but we'll see. Basically, what he argues is that there is a double standard, a squad W double standard in our society when it comes to certain things that cause harm. So look at any clothing, electronics, or product that is made through child slavery. Some percentage of the things you own, unless you're one of those crazy people who make sure that everything that you own is like bought from co-ops and like made from like ethically sourced, whatever. Like, if you're one of those people who goes through that much effort and everything, kudos to you, and you do not apply here. But most of you, the vast majority of you, probably have something in your possession that was made through child slavery and suffering and exploitation and blood. Pretty fucked, huh? But we're kind of okay with this, right? Like, at the same time, even though my graphics card that I'm using to stream right now might have been made with materials that were mined from a fucking from by slaves somewhere, who knows? Like, despite that, we still kind of look past it and like continue to consume the product. Chocolate, a lot of chocolate we consume is produced through slavery, child slave labor included. I could go down a list of examples of things that we commonly consume that are very commonly produced through child labor and child slavery in other countries. I don't need to do that, though. I feel like it's a pretty well-known thing that that is a thing that exists. And yet, we're okay with that, but we morally condemn people very heavily for consuming another thing that is bad for the same reason that to produce it, you have to harm children. It is made through exploitation and harm, and to consume it is to not only support that production of that thing and thus the harm and exploitation of children. Yet I don't need to explain why it's bad. They're bad for the same reasons. The products that you have that were made through child slavery are bad for the same reasons as like child porn would be bad, right? We're willing to kind of turn a shoulder to one thing and not the other because, let's be real here, child porn's disgusting. Or as I like to call it, child sexual assault material. I think CSAM is a much more useful term for it because child porn the word porn implies consent. I don't like that. A lot of people don't like that. A lot of people in the community the community trying to push against like sex trafficking, child sexual exploitation, all that, they've adopted the term CSAM. With that said, the reason for that is because it disgusts us. It disgusts us. When we see a pedophile, we are filled up with rage because we imagine the thought of them trying to hurt a child, and it makes us angry. We imagine them as these disgusting perverts, right? As they are. But, you know, I don't think I need to dunk on pedophiles for 20 minutes here. That goes without saying. But, like, we view that there's a very strong emotional attachment we have to that we don't really have with the graphics card made with materials mined by dead child slaves, right? You know, like there's a level of separation you can have there. And what Vosh, or the argument Vosh was making there, very poorly in his wording, admittedly, he has admitted this himself, was that a lot of people are completely incapable of making an argument against the possession of child porn because they don't understand why both of those things are bad. And we need to encourage people to understand why things like child porn or products made through the exploitation of child slavery are bad, because once we understand why they're bad, well, now it's easier to argue against people who think it's good. The problem is that he worded it very badly. Let's see if any of what I said there gets clipped and ends up getting tossed around. How does porn imply consent? You'll have to ask all of like the institutions and like nonprofits and like movements trying to fight child sex trafficking and child sexual assault and child sex exploitation. Like, you'll have to ask them. They're the ones who've made that decision. Hey, by the way, 360 people watching right now. Please like the stream. It helps the stream out a lot more than you even realize. It takes half a second.
One of the more worst clips of Vosh and explaining the logic. I made a video. You can go check it out. It's a very good video. You should go watch it because I thought it was personally just kind of interesting.
Yeah, porn is an industry. Sexual assault is an act. Exactly, JTuber. Perfect.
Right? The point is, blue check marks are busy fucking wrecking Vosh's ass. You know, we got fucking Newsweek doing articles and this shit. I think Reuters covered this as well. J.K. Rowling and YouTuber Vosh spar over International Women's Day tweet. Wait, hold on now. This was made on internet. Wait, March 8th. When is International Women's Day? Oh no, bruh. Yeah. Well, I guess that's why you made the tweet then. There we go. Oh my god, this just gets better and better. And you know, J.K. Rowling, like, people are looking through her publicly liked tweets and seeing that she's liking the clips.
Excuse me. I gotta drink more of this tea.
You know, that 6-second clip we just watched, that sounds fucking horrible for Vosh. J.K. Rowling is liking this clip. She's literally, imagine from her perspective, for instance, right? There's two ways to look at this, right? Imagine from J.K. Rowling's perspective. You know, she's got this, you know, random Twitter account with like 100,000 followers calling, you know, telling women to shut the fuck up, right? And so she thinks, oh, it's just some misogynistic right-wing fascist troll or something. You know, I'm just gonna own them real quick on Twitter. Then she finds out that they're actually like a well-known leftist and socialist streamer. But then she finds out that they have all these fucking terrible clips that exist of them where it sounds like they're advocating for fucking, you know, child porn and shit like that, right? Could you imagine what must be going through her head right now thinking about like, holy shit, dude, who the fuck is this guy? What did I just stumble into? What deep rabbit hole did I just fall into? You know? Like, holy shit, dude. But then also imagine it from the audience's perspective. Let's say you're some kid that read Harry Potter when you were 13. You follow J.K. Rowling on Twitter. Then you see all of this, like, Twitter drama play out. And you're just...
Yeah, this is the point that I made in my video that I uploaded having to do with this drama in the first place. The fact the left broadly online was so unwilling to try to, like, do what they could, even to put aside some of their petty disagreements, to do what they could to try to sanitize Vosh's optics in this, seeing as he's basically, like, going to have all this attention on him by the mainstream media and going to be the representative of the pro-trans side versus J.K. Rowling. You'd think the left would come together and be like, well, fuck, maybe we don't want the media and everybody to think the guy representing the trans side of this argument is a pedophile. But no, people on the left are spiteful assholes and put their petty 0.01% of their ideology they disagree with Vosh on in front of dunking on the 40 million follower on Twitter, one of the most influential living author, I think, in history, besides maybe George R.R. Martin. Maybe George R.R. Martin beats J.K. Rowling. Probably not. Probably not, though. I really doubt it. Because Harry Potter has such a broader appeal than Game of Thrones or Song of Ice and Fire. Like, when we're talking one of the largest public figures in living on Earth, R.L. Stein's still alive? I guess, yeah. But when we're talking one of the Stephen King, yeah, actually no, Stephen King's probably the largest author. Yeah, no, Stephen King's bigger than J.K. Rowling, probably just by like 10%. Stephen King's probably like 10% bigger than J.K. Rowling. He's got age on his side though, and just a larger, Stephen King has objectively pumped out more bangers than J.K. Rowling, but Stephen King is literally like a machine. Like, he would like write books. He writes for fun. He does it for fun. Like, he doesn't find it to be work. He finds it to be fun. I think he said in interviews, he's like, yeah, like I wake up and I'm like, time to write. It's like me getting up ready to play a new video game like Elden Ring. He's like that excited to get up and write. Like, that's how much he loves writing.
Sitting here, you have no idea who Vosh is, and you're like, what the fuck? Who is this guy? How does he have so many followers and he advocates for child porn? Holy shit. One thing that was funny, though, was that not only were they posting old clips of Vosh, you know, the CP clips that we've all seen and stuff before, right? But they were going through Destiny's Discord server, right? And they found, and by the way, I'm actually in Destiny's Discord server right now. I just joined to verify that these are real. That's Vosh's actual account. You can go to his, Discord server and see that's his fucking account. And they were pulling up these fucking old conversations from like 2018. Vosh, do you guys ever wonder if anyone here has ever fucked a minor while being an adult? Deleted user. No. No. I try not to think about that. Come on, guys, fess up. Who's done it? Confess.
Wait, this is like the type of humor that he does. I feel so bad. I feel so bad that like Vosh had an online presence that was like any online footprint back in the day, like before becoming a YouTuber and learning to be more careful with like his humor and his messaging. Because like, do you think Augie or any other YouTuber probably doesn't have some pretty edgy DMs with their friends or in a Discord server that they probably wouldn't like to be made public? How many of you in chat would be okay with with all the jokes you've made in private Discord DMs, all of you progressive people, being made public? I've got some fairly edgy DMs. Like, I actually don't, I'm fairly careful just because I know that like any joke that I make could be like clipped and taken out of context, so I'm pretty fucking careful. But like, yeah, I mean, edgy humor. I mean, I feel bad that this kind of shit's coming to bite him in the ass, but it is what it is. This is the nature of the internet, you know? If you have like an internet footprint with anything people can twist to make look bad, it's gonna happen. It's the simple reality of being online. It does suck. I'm glad that I got into being a YouTuber and learned like how to be careful about what you say and do online pretty young, because like I don't have any existing online footprint prior to becoming a YouTuber, really. Not much. Nothing that would be like bad, you know? So I guess I have that going for me.
Someone says, look at my life and look at yours. Get some ambition while you're bored. Lordamar has definitely fucked a 15-year-old in recent years. Jesus Christ. Holy shit, what is this? I mean, I fucked a 15-year-old when I was 15. Likewise. But Lordamar was definitely 19 at the time. What's even the point of existing if you can't blast your nut inside children? Lordamar 2017. Someone says, at Vosh, I fucked an adult as a minor.
This seems like this is like a group of friends fucking around. This Loldemar person doesn't seem to be like a person Vosh is purposefully like dunking on in a hateful way. I'm pretty sure this is like them fucking around. Listen, doesn't look good if you're just clipping it to make it look bad, but I mean, these are DMs of people in a Discord server joking around.
Unironically,
Vosh, no, you're gonna be a YouTuber in a year. They're gonna get this. Don't type that, no.
hot. Yeah, buddy? That's hot to you? Yeah? I totally could have sexually satisfied an adult when I was 15. I was all up in that kinky shit back then. Weak pussy eating game, though, to be honest.
Listen, okay? I will stand with him on this take, all right? 15-year-old me could have been out there slaying MILFs, all right? However, I probably would have been mentally scarred because of it, because 15-year-olds aren't equipped to be having sex with adults.
Well, at least he's being honest. It's true. Chad way of doing clit stem is furiously smacking your wet penis against their pussy. Okay, all right.
This is pretty okay. How far through can we scroll till the point where it's very clearly joking at this point? Do we actually think he thinks the best way to stimulate a clitoris is to smack a wet, flaccid penis against the vagina? Do we actually believe he thinks that, or do we think maybe these might be memes? I think these messages might be memes now, guys. I think it's starting to look a little obvious.
I think I've had enough. I think that's gonna about do it for this video today. All right. I don't know if I can take much more of this shit. Okay. Look, I'm not trying to fucking cancel Vosh over here. All right.
Demure fucking little girl, and all the big boys are gonna run in.
Whoa! What do we got? Pause on there. Wait, I need some context on that one.
Confidence, okay? Insecurity is not attractive. You can get away with it if you're like some cute, demure fucking little girl, and all the big boys are gonna run in and be like, ooh, no.
Whoa! Why? I don't like this. I feel like I'm getting violated listening to this. I'm just having a little fun on the internet, okay? We're just having.
Is that supposed to sound bad? Is the wording? Is it because he said little girl? Is that supposed to imply? I mean, maybe it could. I don't know. That didn't even sound like he was sexualizing anybody. I don't know what that was supposed to be.
Having a little bit of fun here.
Yeah, it sounded like he was talking about like uwu shit, right? Like the uwu, rar XD, cute, look at me, puppy, like kind of aesthetic that exists online. That's the impression I got from that clip, but I don't know what that was.
Look, I'll say this, all right? There's a lot of bad clips out there of Vosh. There's a lot of clips that, there's so many clips of Vosh that exist to the point where if you genuinely are like concerned.
My throat is so fucking phlegmy today. Jesus Christ. This tea is actually a good call, Lonnie. Hey, if you want to get me a refill in a few minutes, because I'm actually almost done with it, I might actually be down for more tea. I don't drink tea often, so I'm down to drink more. It's actually kind of make my throat feel better.
About him or think that he might be someone a little bit more devious than he claims to be. I'm not necessarily going to fault you for coming to that conclusion. I'm just big on defending people when I think they've been taken out of context. And with Vosh, I think a lot of people definitely do take him out of context a lot. That being said, there's also a lot of bad clips of him that exist where I sort of understand the argument that he's trying to make, at least in some clips, but either the argument is completely retarded or I think that there's no possible way he couldn't have seen what it looks like he was arguing for. And because of that, it's kind of difficult for me to feel sorry for him. It's kind of difficult for me to feel sorry for him. And people are like, thinking that he's some like monster and he's willingly, producing clips out there. Or at least
what I would have done? Or, well, it's not what I would have done, because I probably would have done exactly what Vosh did in his place, because I would have been as freaked out by the situation and worried for my career reputation as him in that situation if I were him. But like, what he should have done in hindsight, probably when that clip came out and he got canceled for it, should have been like, yeah, I'll defend it too. Come on stream and debate me on it. And then just debate, literally just make it into content. Keep debating people on it and defend it well. Defend his take well. Like, the clip may have been badly worded and may not have been well represented, but people are going to come on expecting the worst. And then when Vosh comes out with a take that is completely reasonable, that's well worded, and they come on to debate, it would be a complete... He could have flipped that whole drama into something completely different. That's how Destiny did it. Like, Destiny had multiple, like, pedophile accusations against him back in the day, and he never, like, apologized or walked it back or anything, which is what Vosh did with the bad wording of those arguments. He doubled and tripled down on it, and now nobody brings that shit up anymore, because nobody cares. Like, in hindsight, it probably would have been better to double, triple down, challenge every single person who accuses him of being a pedophile to come on stream and debate him on that topic, to reveal exactly how stupid and wrong they are. That would have been the best way to do it. That would have been the best way to go about that. Not that, like, what actually probably happened was he was like, as I would have been, as anyone would be in this situation, was probably like, holy fuck, I can't believe someone's taking this thing I said out of context in this way to try to make people think I'm a pedo and ruin my career, I got to put out some kind of apology and explain myself and then never talk about this again and move on. Like, that was probably what was going through his mind, when what probably would have been smartest would have been to stand his ground, defend his point, and vindicate himself.
At least he did produce clips out there that make him look like something that he's obviously not. At some point, you are responsible for your messaging, and that's something that even, and especially Vosh, probably agrees with. Until then, folks, my name's AugieRFC. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care, everyone. Peace out.
We did it. We infiltrated the drama community, and not just that. Not just that. I actually want to watch this next one as well. A bit of a longer segment. Sorry, Cherry. Have fun. Hassan is unironically stupid and should quit politics by WillyMacShow. He also put out 2 other based videos on the quartering, calling out the quartering's grift. You'll remember WillyMacShow is the guy who invented the "I was radicalized by Minecraft" meme. He had some cringe takes in a debate we had, but I like the guy. I like his content, and I do think he's a good dude. And he's had some pretty fucking good takes lately. And I'm sub to him. Bell icon rung. I like him. Yeah, he put out a video that was a good takedown of Hassan. Like, we're going to watch it. That's how good of a takedown of Hassan it is.
Hassan is the biggest political streamer on Twitch.
America deserved 9/11, dude. We fucking totally brought it on ourselves, dude. Holy shit.
He's a socialist who routinely criticizes the rich while spending money on extravagant luxuries of his own.
La, 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 wait till I get my money right.
He owns a $200,000 luxury Porsche, living in a $3 million luxury home. Hassan often relies on using other people's content to entertain his viewers, either when he's too tired to entertain, or he's cooking, or eating. When people confront him or offer solutions on how to go about in the future, like pausing the video when he's not there, or giving proper credit to the creator while reacting, he dismisses it, using over-the-top exaggerations to make the concessions seem unreasonable.
Dude, what am I supposed to do?
Hey, you want to know something? Like, an easy way to help give credit, like, when you're reacting to a video? Like, a good way is to watch it in default view or wide view, because then you could still show the title while watching it and still having, like, a pretty big view of the video on your screen. And it's easy to scroll down and show the channel and everything, so it's easy to give credit. But the way that Hassan has his stream arranged, I actually figured this out off stream. I haven't said this on stream before, but I figured this out off stream. I was looking at the way that Hassan's stream layout works, and the way that Hassan's stream layout works is so that he has to scroll down for the channel name or the video title to ever be visible while he's reacting to it, except for like the bit that appears sometimes when you hover over it. Because the way he has this super like small, what is this, 9:6, I think would be the aspect ratio of what he's showing the screen, like not his chat and his camera. This is 9:6 aspect ratio, right? The way his screen is like set up is that he rarely, when reacting to a video, actually ends up scrolling down and showing the title or the channel name of who uploaded the video that he's reacting to. He has to specifically scroll down to see it, and he normally only ever does that to read the comments, which is normally him quickly scrolling to see it, and he doesn't often give credit. This is a serious problem he has. People have like dug even further into his reaction content since this became drama, and have like gone even more like detective on just how shitty Hassan's like method of reaction is.
Die? Like, I don't understand.
Yes, die. That is clearly what that comment is demanding of you. But when people clip him using his content in a way he doesn't like, he threatens to strike them.
Why are they clipping me then? Like, if my own fucking clip channels are clipping all of my videos to make money, why are you fucking clipping wrong information then? If that's the case. And then
basically, Hassan was threatening to DMCA his clip channels because his clip channels, the people running his clip channels were calling him out for his Ukraine takes. So he threatened to DMCA their channels off of YouTube in response to them disagreeing with him.
fuck you, dude. Don't make me DMCA your bitch asses. Everything I said about Biden is true, you fucking idiot.
It's always... Do you think black people...
What a fucking liar, dude.
When I compared the quartering to Hassan, I wasn't exaggerating. They're both people that will pander to their team at all cost. Two sides of the same coin. It's like looking into a mirror. Seriously, you should do it. You need to.
I'm a big guy. I get sweaty. You know, you get that crotch rot.
Well, don't stress, Jeremy. I have the solution for you. Sent Bert.
The comparison between the quartering and Hassan is actually scary. Because I never thought about it that way. But then I started to think about it, and I was like, fuck. Not exactly wrong. Crotch rot? Oh, yeah. Holy shit. My man Jeremy must really not be showering much because, like, swamp dick or swamp crotch is one thing. That's what you get after you go for a run or you've had a long, heated, sweaty gaming session. You know, swamp dick is one thing, but swamp dick turns into crotch rot after weeks of not showering and repeated sessions of doing those things, okay? This motherfucker's got crotch rot, okay? Some amount of, like, rot, if things are rotting, then you're in trouble.
Is a fragrance subscription service, and just like how Netflix lets you watch hundreds of TV shows and movies, Scentbird allows you to receive colognes and perfumes from over 600
Rotting implies tissue is dying.
From indie labels like Vince Camuto and The Harmonist to top designer brands like Prada, Gucci, and Versace.
Ooh.
Ladies and gentlemen, look at these cool and stylish samples they send you. You just twist.
Sheesh, look at that. Or I'm not gonna watch the sponsor, I'm sorry. Listen, okay, we got points to get to in this video, I'm sorry.
We gotta find.
Hassan is a political streamer, the most popular by far, and look, I'm not someone who claims to be very knowledgeable about politics, but even to me, it seems like he has some pretty crazy takes.
What the fuck? What the fuck is wrong with this dude? Didn't he go to war and like literally lose his eye because some mujahideen, a brave fucking soldier, fucked his eye hole with their dick? Isn't that how he lost?
Listen, okay, as funny as we may find that clip, to the vast majority of people, that just looks like a random Twitch streamer, communist, like besmirching a war veteran, which just comes off as disrespectful and shitty. And there's a reason why this got as much attention as it did and why it was as negative of attention as it was. This is a very stupid thing to say for him, but you know, we make mistakes.
Lost his fucking dumb.
I don't like digging this far back for clips. In the same way, like with Vosh, you know, like how people dig back. Yeah, like Lonnie's saying right now, like how people dig back and like find the clips of Vosh making a joke or like of Vosh saying something, and it's like taken out of context, or it's like clearly a joke, or it's like, okay, you could have worded things better here, like, or oh, this is a long time ago, you know. Like I don't like digging back that far. The shit that I take issue with about Hassan, most of it's happened this year. And we're less than 3 months into the year.
Ass eye? Because he got his fucking eye hole fucked by a brave soldier?
Yeah, Hassan sounds like a very reasonable guy, somebody I definitely would want to run the world. His pitch for a more civilized utopia sounds amazing.
I am an advocate, and I am of the mindset that civilized countries allow its citizens to fucking brawl with cops.
Yes, this sounds very civilized.
The only countries outside of the United States where people can't fucking brawl with cops are dictatorships. I think it shows that it is a civilized country if citizens have the same level of rights and protection under whatever constitution they believe in, where, you know, they can fucking brawl with cops.
Can you really just brawl with cops in the UK and Canada? That sounds unlikely to me. If you can't already tell, Hassan likes to take some polarizing stances.
So basically, I actually know the clip what that's from. Hassan watched like a couple of clips of some people getting into fistfights, like drunken fistfights with the cops in the UK. And like, because they don't carry guns. Yeah, but it's not legal. Hassan was like acting like, yeah, they're just gonna have a drink after that. I watched like the clip he was responding to. I think before that he was reacting to a video of a UK cop chasing a guy, and the guy pushes the cop off of a dock into the water, probably like the Thames Canal or whatever, and runs away, and the cop's like spending 5 minutes trying to climb out of the fucking canal, getting up onto the dock, and he finally gets up, and the guy who's recording is like sitting there, and the guy who pushed him is like 3 blocks away by the time the cop gets out of the water. And the cop walks up to the dude who is recording, is like, do you know where he is? And he's like, no, mate, he went that way, and points that was Australian, points the opposite direction. But Hassan like watches these clips, and it's like, okay, Hassan's commentary. This is the issue that I take. WillyMacShow's arguments aren't exactly going to be like the top notch, okay? They aren't, okay? Like, WillyMacShow's not going to be hitting the best home runs against Hassan here. He's going to hit a few, and I liked this video, and I watched it off stream already. I know I already pre-watched this, but we're reacting to it, so it's fine. But not all of his criticisms are very good. Obviously, like the socialism, no house, no car meme is stupid, and but there is a good criticism to point out here in that Hassan's political commentary and Hassan's social commentary on issues like this come off like really shallow and almost like they exist in like a cartoon. Like, imagine thinking you can get into a fist fight with the police in like the UK and it's not going to be an issue. Now, most cops in the UK don't carry guns. There are cops in the UK that carry firearms, though. I know that, like, there are special units that carry guns. There are obviously, like, there are units that are stationed all around London that always have guns. Always. And they're standing there on the street with guns in their hands. People try to walk up to them and fuck with them. They're like the guard or whatever. Like, there are law enforcement in the UK with guns. You should not... The way that Hassan talked about it, I remember watching that original clip, it comes off to me as Hassan existing in a childishly cartoonish parody reality of what he thinks the UK is really like when it comes to their police, because he thinks that, like, UK police, you know, oh, mate, you can't park there. Oh, I'll park wherever I want, mate. All right, put your fisticuffs up. Whoever wins gets to decide who's right here. All right, mate, let's go. Oh, I'm fucking you up, mate. And then they fight, and then whoever wins gets to decide who's in the right. If the guy wins and the cop... There was literally a news story Hassan retweeted on Twitter recently where, like, an Australian cop let a drunk driver off
Welcome to capitalism,
of a ticket because the drunk driver attacked him and won the fight. And Hassan retweeted it and said, this is what cops in America need to be more like. And maybe this isn't like the worst criticism of Hassan ever, but it demonstrates to me like one of the issues that I have with Hassan's like mindset. It's like he's got like a parody conception of places that aren't where he has like personal experience with, you know? It's the same thing with Russia, right? He has like a very almost real life Flanderized idea of Russia in his mind, you know, only in a positive way. It seems like the idea that Russia is being run by people who really do care about the well-being of like the people over maintaining power and growing their empire. He seems to unironically believe that Russia has like anti-imperialist sentiment in their government, which is insane. Or strong anti-imperialist sentiment in their government, I believe was his sentiment, or is what he said. I don't know. This is a dumb thing to try to dunk on Hassan for. This is what I'm dunking on him for. WillyMacShow is it. I'm not even dunking on him for it. Thank you, Mr. Krabs.
On things where he will talk about his opinion as if it is the only acceptable take. This gets him into some sticky situations at times. When US intelligence said that Russia's invasion of the Ukraine was imminent, Hassan was skeptical.
What's up, folks? I'm live and alive, and we got a lot to talk about. I was right about Ukraine. That's right. War is not imminent. Oh, shocked to find out. Anyway, we're going to talk about that and a bunch of other stuff, so get in now.
But honestly, saying Hassan was skeptical is completely underselling his verbiage. You would have thought he had his own intelligence agency feeding him information with how confident he sounded.
I think maybe I'll tell my editors to do this, but I think I'll just change I'll change this every day to Ukraine has still not been invaded by Russia every day. Change it to Russia still has yet to invade Ukraine. And it's like day 11 at this point, you know what I mean?
He says that like it means something. What, is he complaining that they're late? Guys, it's been 11 days. What more proof do we need? They'll never invade. 11 days? Too long. He was posting J-Station memes, making fun of people who were worried about imminent war, and when Russia finally did it, making his coverage look utterly ridiculous, you'd think he'd apologize for going about things so arrogantly. And to be fair, he kind of did. The video was titled, I Was Wrong About Ukraine. So does he actually admit that he got stuff wrong? Yeah, I mean, he's got little choice, but in the same video, he simultaneously continues to make claims about the conflict that he has no way of knowing about, and ultimately would be proven.
WillyMac is missing the mark so hard in this video, making it clear how little he knows about the topics. How? maybe some of the other things, but this in particular, WillyMacShow is hitting the nail on the head here, Lonnie. I'm sorry. I don't get why you defend Hassan as much as you do, Lonnie. I hate the guy. At this point, I do think I hate the guy as far as like content creators go. Not as a person. Like, I'm not kept up at night hating Hassan, but like as far as content creators go, I'd be like, yeah, as a content creator, I dislike. Like, this is somebody who I think is a piece of shit as far as content creators go. Like, I think Hassan is like an actual piece of shit. I'm not defending Hassan. I don't care about Hassan.
Wrong again.
The reason why I'm saying a lot of the information that's coming out of the State Department is wrong or outright false is because what I'm showing you right now is literally fucking people talking about like bombing Kiev.
WillyMacShow is dumb. Way better people to watch. The reason why we're watching WillyMacShow's video is to demonstrate the fact that 2 years ago, I was arguing with these YouTubers that we've been watching for the last hour and 12 minutes on why they should give a shit about politics in the political scene. And they were arguing against that. This is good character development. This is good. I'm happy about this. This is good. All right. This is a move in a positive direction. Not only, like, and this very easily could have been an awful video. Like, the arguments being made here are pretty good for the most part. The car thing and the mansion thing is dumb, but like the socialism is when no boner. Socialism is when no boner. Socialism is when no house. Lonnie's busy simping for Hassan in chat, but like and distracting me. But like it's just Hassan is kind of a piece of shit. Let's be real. And WillyMacShow's video here is hitting the nail on the head. Most of these points, I'd say. I think Hassan's still a net good, probably. But that doesn't mean he shouldn't still be shit on when he has bad takes.
Okay. Their take was Ukraine is going to be invaded. Kiev is going to be invaded by Russia. That is insane. That's psychotic.
So in his apology video for his arrogant and baseless predictions on Ukraine, Hassan makes more arrogant and baseless predictions on Ukraine. Only Hassan, dude. He's also taken weird stances like condemning his chat for comparing Putin to Hitler.
You feeling bad about the Crimean annexation does not change the reality of the Crimean annexation being a completely justifiable fucking act by the Russian government, okay? So that's it. That's fine. And Hitler invaded countries based on Germanic ties at first? Yeah, dude. Talk to me when he's fucking throwing Ukrainians in a fucking... What are you talking about? Talk to me when he's throwing Ukrainians at a concentration camp, okay? Hitler wasn't fucking bad because he decided to invade Austria. He was bad because he was fucking killing Jews, okay? That was the problem. He wasn't like, oh yeah, we're gonna fucking annex territory with like Germanic people in it. That wasn't the main problem with Hitler, I think.
Who says this? He seems more passionate about this than the actual invasion.
That wasn't the main problem with Hitler.
That's the thing that actually I feel like is a better argument here than even like who says this is he seems more passionate about this than the actual invasion. It's true. He actually does seem more upset that someone in his chat compared Putin to Hitler than he is that Putin is invading Ukraine. And it's funny because Hassan is not afraid to get super emotional and virtue signally about things that, like about his political opinions, you know, like he'll yell and get angry and go on long rants like this about how angry he is about a political thing. It doesn't really seem like the Ukraine thing bothers him much.
I think that was like maybe 8th down the line.
Well, I'm glad we cleared that up.
I made out with so many girls. Made out with every
This part of the video I think
world.
is kind of dumb.
If you can't tell, Hassan is very stubborn. He likes to argue, so he often gets caught up on weird, seemingly insignificant things. You see, cracker is a really important word to Hassan. He spent an awkward amount of time trying to explain why it's a cool word to use.
Okay. WillyMacShow in this clip, in this segment, does not argue that cracker is like a slur or bad to use. I don't think he does, at least, not from what I remember. What he mostly shows in this clip are some really, really cringy instances of Hassan that I wasn't even aware of during the cracker arc, that when I watched this video off stream this afternoon, I actually, like, you ever get like that, you know how Hank Hill, like, goes, whoa, when he cringes? Because that's what that is. That's him having a physical cringe reaction. I did that. I had a silent "Whoa" moment when I watched one of the clips. It gave me that spine tingle that made me involuntarily kind of like squirm in my boots, was how cringy the clip I saw was. We're going to get to it very soon. Wait, first I have to ask you guys for context. Do any of you guys know who TSM Myth is? TSM Myth is he's the same age as me, so he'd probably be 22 now. Maybe, I think he's probably like 20 or 21 now. He was a bit younger than me. I don't know. I remember he was like, I liked Myth a lot back when he was really getting big because he was the same, like really close age to me. He's in TSM, which is a pro gaming team, and he was like really big on Fortnite back in its popularity. And the reason why I bring him up is because he's going to become relevant later in this segment of the video. And while we don't see him in the clip that is shown, it is worth bringing up the fact that he is black. Trust me, you'll understand why when the clip relevant with him comes up. Let's continue to watch.
Cracker is not a slur. Cracker is not a slur. Cracker is not a slur.
That's...
Is it? Is it not?
It's not.
It's not?
No, of course not. Cracker is...
The way you said it so loud.
Cracker is, has, even in its etymology, it's something I've talked about so many times too, because it's like, white boys love fucking saying like, cracker is the same as the N-word, cracker is the same as the N-word, right?
I want you to get real close to your screen and look at Pokemane's face here, because like, I'm not shitting on Hassan here, I promise you. I just love this one. I remember watching this and just seeing this one bit and thinking, this is the face of a woman who is terrified that the career she's built is about to crumble before her very eyes. Because Pokimane does not talk politics at all. Like, her whole branding, from what I can tell, is being as inoffensive and broadly like broad appeal as possible. And she's not really into the whole political thing much. She's probably left-leaning on her politics, if I were to guess. But you know what I mean, right? So she's like not used to people even mentioning the N-word on Twitch. That's not a thing you talk about, really, as a streamer. And so she's like terrified right now. Like, what is he doing? Like, what is he doing? This is not a thing you do as a streamer in the sphere she comes from. In the political sphere, we're like, okay, can I tell you guys something? Back when I was a liberal, before I was a political commentator, like when I was like, before I was on the far right and before I started doing political commentary type content, and I was like left-wing-ish, and I would never say black person or black people because I thought that was racist. I thought it was racist to say that. I would always say African American or African Americans because I thought saying black people was racist. And it wasn't until I became a political commentator and just got like more into the space that I realized, oh, not even like woke POC consider like black people or black to be racist as a descriptor for black people. Like that is, yeah, like that, like, or even saying, or even if I reference the N-word, it's not a big deal. It's not like, it's not racist for me to be white and to reference the N-word. I don't know. It feel like that would have been the thing I would have shied away from at all costs back when I was an apolitical normie that was marginally left-leaning, which is what I feel like is happening with Pokimane here. And she's just like, are you sure about this, Hassan, bro? We don't talk like this on my side of Twitch.
It's really stupid. It's not like the etymology of the word is different. Like cracker means literally whip cracker. It comes from whip cracker. So the power still is in the hands of the white person in that situation.
It's true. Us white people, we love being called crackers. I feel completely empowered by it. Jokes aside, Hassan would use the word in a way at times that could be interpreted as hateful.
Did I say, oh my God, saltine cracker? Like people are just bitter because it's saltine cracker. That's not what I said, you dumb cracker bitch.
I don't give a shit if he calls people crackers. I just think his logic is hilariously bad. This tweet of his is one of my all-time favorites. Absolutely insane. Twitch banned 2 of my mods for using the word cracker. One is black and the other one is brown. Does Twitch actually believe cracker is a slur? What is the logic behind pointing out that they're black and brown? I feel like that makes it worse. Like if they were 2 white guys, I get it. That makes more sense. But
that is true.
It would make more sense not to bring up their race at all. He went through this phase where he tried to act like all these creators agreed with him on it when they clearly didn't.
What do you think about the word cracker?
The what?
The word cracker.
What do I think about the word cracker?
2 of my mods got banned for saying cracker.
I can't look.
Yesterday in a sequence of like 3 minutes.
I can't look.
I don't use it personally.
Oh.
I'd rather describe people with things that aren't just broad stroke derogatory terms based off the color of their skin.
Pokemon had to bait him into talking about something else.
I can't watch
he was
this
getting
part
so
either.
riled up about it.
I've been a sub to Hassan for more than
I
2
can't
years,
watch
but
this
it's about
part
time the
either.
community's bubble got popped. The whole "you can't be racist towards X group" argument isn't perceived well in the real world where we actually live in the struggle. Bro,
Have you seen this one video on YouTube?
no, this person
No. It's
has
a
literally
really-
never
it's
been
a
around
really
black
good
people.
Video. I promise you.
Here's a person who does not have a single
promise
black
you it's
or a
worth
brown
your
friend.
time.
Okay, what is it?
What Hassan did right there is how he dismisses every argument that disagrees with.
That last one was the one I really couldn't watch. The myth one wasn't as bad in hindsight, but the Pokemon one, that was the one that really, like, that is social ineptitude if I've ever seen it. At the very, like, that's all that was. That was social ineptitude. I'm not gonna dunk on Hassan too hard for that, but that was extraordinarily cringe. Like, it was pretty clear there that she didn't want to talk about it. Can I give you guys an analogy from my own personal experience as to, like, when you should know not to, like, as a streamer in another streamer's space or with another streamer around, to try to keep the other streamers' sort of, like, feelings in mind? Was a few months back, I was hanging out in another Twitch streamer's chat. Her name is Pixel Smixel. And I was talking in the chat, and one of the chatters brought up the sex cult drama and was like, really sorry thoughts, because she was reacting to a Thought Slime video, and someone brought up this Thought Slime sex cult thing. This is before the recent Vindication arc that happened with all that. And she was like, sex cult drama, what happened? And I was like, basically Thought Slime, and she was like, okay, if this is drama between two people, I don't want to platform this. And at first I was a little upset, like, oh fuck, I want to be able to, like, explain the situation before, because, like, the way that this explanation ended kind of makes me look and sound a little bad. But it's probably a good thing that I didn't disregard this streamer's request not to discuss that drama, because this is another streamer asking me to keep a controversial drama from my community out of their space and out of their presence, because they don't want they don't want any part of it. But with Hassan, that was clearly Pokimane saying, I don't want to be here for this tirade you're about to go on, because this is about to get you into some drama, and me being next to you is going to get me roped up in it. Clearly multiple times trying to change the topic. Don't do that. Don't do that. Keep an eye out for clear social signs in situations like that.
With him. He exaggerates, refuses to actually engage in the conversation, and usually just shoves words in the other person's mouth.
Here's a person who does not have a single black or brown friend.
You dumb cracker bitch. What are you talking about? Talk to me when he's throwing Ukrainians at a concentration camp, okay?
I don't think he's ever engaged in a good faith argument. He's perfect for politics.
On the bong and the dope, I'm on his bomb. I'm smoking that Viacom.
I've already touched on Hassan's lack of understanding when it comes to copyright. He will play other people's videos on stream when he's not even in the room. He does this so often, people are able to make 45-minute compilations of his chair, or him just eating, not transforming the video at all. He usually won't even provide proper credit for the video. His excuses are laughable.
I don't know. Maybe because I'm live for fucking 8 hours, and sometimes I'm not literally in front of the camera while the fucking video's playing.
And when people like JXE give honest arguments for why they think that's wrong, Hassan, in usual fashion, will be quick to dismiss the point entirely, using some of the most brain-dead logic I've ever heard.
On him, how is it any different than him just watching a YouTube video off stream? It just rubs me the wrong way. Like, how do you think of your viewers to just stream your break? Dude, what am I supposed to do? Die? Like, I don't understand.
This is Hassan. It doesn't matter if it's a serious...
Hassan does argue like a child. He does. That is child argument logic.
issue like Ukraine, or a simple complaint about how he reacts to videos. He will always dumb down his critics' arguments to such a laughable level where it's hard to tell if he's being dishonest or if he's actually just that stupid.
You could leave a sign saying "gone for a dump" back in 5, or could just give credit where it's due and actually react while he's in the room. Doesn't seem like a lot to ask. These motherfuckers are like, dude, peanut bottle, dude.
No, you fucking glue eater. Just pause the video till you get back from the bathroom. Engage with it. Give proper credit. This stuff is so simple. When Hassan makes false equivalencies, sometimes people in his chat call him out for it. Even when he reads it though, he doesn't engage. He just chooses to ignore them then.
I'm right and you're wrong. Okay? I'm right and you're wrong if you don't recognize that. Now, is there a difference between playing a video game on stream and playing a TV show on stream?
Yes.
Not really, no. Yeah, but a video game's point is the interaction. Watching a video doesn't give that.
Great point. I wonder how Hassan will answer that.
Yeah, but a video game's point is the interaction. Watching a video doesn't give that. People have gotten clapped for game streaming before.
He doesn't. He chooses to.
The old Hassan 1-2. So you guys know what I mean now when I say that like the left has a problem with people being incapable of defending their arguments. Not even just on political issues, but even like defending their own actions, they can't do it. They can't even defend their own actions against like a decently well-placed argument posted in chat in text that is one-sided where you have the microphone and the podium.
To ignore it and read another chat message. Here's the best part. When people start infringing on Hassan's copyright in a way that he no longer likes, then it's all cool to strike people.
Yeah, I've been noticing it's been hella toxic. Even clip channels are being annoying and commenting in the description on how you're wrong. Why are they clipping me then? Like, if my own fucking clip channels are clipping all of my videos to make money, why are you fucking clipping wrong information then?
Because you look like an ass. It shows how much shit you spew out of your mouth.
Then fuck you, dude. Don't make me DMCA your bitch asses. Motherfuckers are literally posting my YouTube videos from my fucking Twitch, stealing this shit because I allow them to so they can make money off of it just to make me look fucking bad or shit on.
Dude, time vindicates me every time, it feels like. Like, I come on stream, I say Hassan's an asshole. You guys are like, I don't know about that. And then weeks later, here we are. Here we fucking are. Doesn't always vindicate me. I've been wrong plenty of times, okay? The times that I'm right just end up getting platformed and talked about the most. The times when the far more frequent times, I'm sure, where I get predictions wrong just end up getting a lot of attention.
On me? What the fuck is this? Send me all the videos. Okay? Send me all the fucking videos of the Hasanabi Clips Industrial Complex talking shit. And I will fucking destroy them. I will purge them.
Crazy.
Lol, he's fine with clip channels taking his stuff until he disagrees with them. Yeah, I mean, that was pretty explicit in the clip. It was him responding to someone saying, yeah, it's so annoying. Even your clip channels are saying that you were wrong. And then he says, oh, I'll DMCA them then. He's been fine with them for all this time. He's had he's been okay with them all this time, but now they disagree with him, and now he's going to DMCA them. Please predict me getting a clingy goth yandere GF, and let's see if it comes true. Sodabit, by the end of the year, you are going to have a clingy goth yandere GF with big old titties and a fat ass.
How he's all for getting rid of copyright laws until it starts affecting him negatively. Fucking classic.
But she's so nice, but she's so nice, but she's so nice.
Nicholas Diorio has been making a full-fledged documentary breaking down Hassan's career, and when I told him I was making my video, he specifically sent me these clips to use.
So I'm not going to, for instance...
this just goes into like the classic Hassan memes and everything. It's just like the dunking on him for a bit. If you want to see the rest of this, I recommend you go and you watch the original videos. Obviously, the original was from AugieRFC, and this is from WillyMacShow. If you want to go drop some support on the video, which I recommend you do, because as far as takedowns of Hassan go, even if you don't agree with everything WillyMac said or agree with WillyMac and everything, it's a pretty damn good takedown of Hassan. It's worth getting more attention on it. Because as it stands, functionally, Hassan is the PewDiePie of the online left. And what I mean by that is he is untouchable. No level of criticism can actually graze him. And the same thing applies to PewDiePie, right? Like if somebody takes issue with something like someone as large as PewDiePie says or does, nobody can take him to task for that. No YouTuber is large enough to call out PewDiePie and actually have any positive effect on it. In the same way, that is the case with Hassan. I don't think ContraPoints or Vosh or I could all come together and put out videos on Hassan and have a substantial impact on Hassan's presence, even if we were to put out the best takedowns ever. And I find that the reason for that is actually quite similar to why most conservative commentators have such a large audience that is so dedicated, and the same reason why, I guess you could say, the same reason Hassan has that audience, and why I think people like Mike from PA and those other types have it as well. It is because their fans are probably, most of them, pretty morally lucky. They probably are pretty morally lucky. They probably like stumbled on the right YouTube videos or had the right upbringing that brought them into the right political opinions that they hold. And they found Hassan, and he's like a, quippy, funny dude that's on Twitch. And there's a certain point where he got too big to fail, as Dav69 in chat said, right? Like once you get to a certain size, once you are the largest of a certain niche, your growth, as long as that niche continues to exist, is guaranteed. You ever think about that, right? Like, once Hassan became the biggest lefty political streamer, no one can stop him as long as he keeps on putting out content. Because if somebody wants to look for lefty live stream political content, Hassan's the first person they're going to find, because he's the biggest person, right? His content will continuously grow. It just seems to give Hassan more clout, in my opinion. Listen, as far as like representation goes, it could be way worse than Hassan. God forbid if someone like Mike from PA was as big as Hassan. Could you imagine? However, something I've noticed is people like Mike from PA, people who I imagine, and I'm like, holy fuck, can you imagine what a nightmare it would be if this was the largest left-wing figure? They're all Hassan orbiters. All of them. Like, most of the biggest pieces of shit in this space all orbit Hassan like crazy. Because he's the biggest guy. They all orbit him like crazy. And Hassan, like, has Hassan not raided Mike from PA several times? Mike from PA does like the strategic stream thing where he like streams to get raided by Hassan, right? Am I wrong about that or no? Because I was under the... People in my chat have been telling me for a while now that like Mike from PA specifically streams to get the Hassan overflow. That's my impression. Anyway, so they all tend to orbit Hassan. He's the biggest guy in the space. It's it's what you'd expect, right? Anyway, my main point of this video, or at the end of the day, wasn't actually to dunk on Hassan or to talk about the topics that we ended up talking about mostly. It was mostly to discuss the fact that these drama and commentary YouTubers that I 2 years ago was arguing about, why they should be interested in politics, are now talking politics, and I like it. It's actually pretty cool. They're making good content, and even if they're putting out videos dunking on fellow left-wing figures, if it's more content like this video on Hassan, I welcome it. I like it. Yeah. Someone's got to hold people like Hassan in check. The drama community has existed to hold YouTubers in check for a long time, but the drama community has only just recently started to acknowledge the political community. Political YouTubers, besides for like the natural existing cancel culture, haven't really been, kept in check by the broader, normie public. You know what I mean? You're not wrong, Zan. Yeah, now that these YouTubers and a lot of these more like, niche political figures are going to get exposed to a broader normie audience, I'm really curious to see how quickly the left adapts or dies, or people on the left adapt or die, right? Because people like Hassan, as long as normies keep on discovering like the bad shit Hassan's done and keep like getting exposed to this, people like Hassan, content creators like Mike from PA, they're going to have to either get their act together or I don't know what'll happen like to their careers. There might be a point where like Hassan's career pitters out and dies, like many careers have before his, for God knows what reason. Could be a day comes when people realize he's kind of an idiot. I've got a question for you. I don't hope that happens to him, by the way. Even if it did, he'd be fine. I don't hope that happens to him, nor do I think he'll ever pitter out and die out. I think he'll always be like even at his smallest, some point in the future, he'll at least pull a few thousand viewers. At least. He's never going to be like a less than 1,000 viewer Andy or whatever. That's never going to happen. But like, I'm curious to see if like some of the shit that he's done ever bites him in the ass in the future. Because sometimes it does. Sometimes figures that were once seen as being untoppable, things they do, death by 1,000 cuts, they just stack up and eventually your reputation erodes away. It's what happened to Wings of Redemption, you know? That's an extreme example, but I mean, that was a YouTuber who was once seen as like pretty damn respected and loved, pretty unanimously, who is now possibly one of the most mocked and hated creators out there. You can destroy your reputation, even when you have tons of goodwill. Well, Leafy got banned, Saxy Jacks, last year after like Leafy returned like last year or the year before last year, I think. No, it was the year before last year. Leafy returned to YouTube, and upon his return, he peaked. Like the peak of his career occurred upon his return from YouTube, where he was literally just making like crypto reactionary, like reeing about e-girls and like shitting on lefty streamers. He did shit on Hassan though for, I would argue, shitty reasons, like not very good arguments or good reasons, but yeah, Leafy got banned. That's why you don't really hear about him anymore. Vosh also have bad reputation, but he's still doing fine. That's the question though. Vosh is doing fine now, but with this JK Rowling thing, who knows? Depending on how Vosh handles it, it could end up hurting his reputation more than like it helps it. You know, like you can't see the future. Hopefully, I think it'll probably be fine. I don't think Vosh's reputation or his career is going to be hurt that bad. But like something that is always a worry as a content creator is your reputation preceding you. You guys have probably heard that term a lot, but you've never really thought about what it meant. When your reputation precedes you, it means that people know of you and have a conception of you in their mind. Way more, that conception of you exists in far more people's minds than people really know you. So for Vosh, the worry is, or for any content creator, the worry is that some lie or rumor or negative information about you should become so much more prominent than your ability to reach new people. If your ability to reach new people becomes overshadowed by the spreading of negative rumors about you, that is a concern. The Kharkiv Kid Finder, for example, I think is a perfect example of Vosh dealing with that drama perfectly. If he leads into the Kharkiv Kid Finder meme, that is the best way to handle that drama. Leaning into the ways that people shit on you or make fun of you is the only way online to make people stop making fun of you for it. Once you start doing it ironically, the people who hate you stop doing it unironically. Like it is a thing that happens. A lot of like the most common, like the most popular memes in like call-ins. I've been live for 4 hours. I'm feeling tired. Yeah, we'll do call-ins. Here, let's wrap up this segment. If you enjoyed this segment, please consider leaving a like, subscribe, ring the bell icon, follow my social media, like the stream. You guys know what to do. You can also donate, subscribe, or gift a sub on my website. You can support me on YouTube, Twitch, through Patreon, or through Streamlabs. But no matter how you support me, I really do appreciate it. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.